Hello everyone, my name is Disha and today I'm presenting my original teaching and learning resource designed for children aged 3 to 5 years old. For this assessment, I have selected to focus on the National NAIDOC Week, which is right here in my hand. This, in 2026, celebrates the theme of 50 years of Deadly. This subject is incredibly significant as it marks a half century of NIDOC as a platform for indigenous excellence and history. I specifically selected this event because for preschoolers, understanding identity and community is a core development milestone. According to the early years of learning framework, fostering a sense of belonging is critical. This useful resource, which I've titled the Walking on Country Story Map, enables children to connect with indigenous views via tactile storytelling and symbolic play. This allows them to explore the rich historical past of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in a manner that is respectful and age appropriate. Moving on. So, right, moving on to my materials. To create this resource, I used a recycled H&M paper bag, smooth river stones, fallen twigs or sticks, markers, chalks, and non-toxic paint. The sources of these materials was intentional. I repurposed the paper bag from retail packaging to explicitly model sustainability. As educators, we must demonstrate environmental responsibility, a key principle in the EYLF. That's why I did this. Paper bag recycling. The stones and twigs were hand collected from the local environment. By bringing place into the classroom, we provide a physical connection to country, which Harrison and Selwood, who I've taken reference from, argue is fundamental to indigenous pedagogy. Moving on. I chose high contrast green and black paint for the stones because 3 years and 5 years old are developing their visual literacy as well. Bright, clear symbols on the dark background act as visual prompts that scaffold their ability to decode meaning. I also added the use of chalks allows for impermanent marks so they can erase it and create new ones, giving children the freedom to draw and erase, as I told, and thus creating their own paths without fear of making mistakes or supporting learning. This supports the outcome for confidence and involvement. Next. In these slides, you can see the documented process of me designing the resource. I began by respectfully collecting natural elements from the ground, ensuring that I only took what was fallen on the ground and not plucking anything that's in the plant. Next, I deconstructed the H&M bag to create a large flat canvas to draw. I used a black marker to draw a winding down river with mountains in the center. Indigenous culture, water is life, and the river acts as a narrative guide for the children's stories. Next. During the middle phase, I applied specific indigenous iconography and iconography to the stones. I painted a U shape to represent the person or traveler, and concentric circles to represent a waterhole or meeting place. Finally, I assembled the gunya or traditional shelters using the collected twigs. By documenting this whole process, I ensured that every design choice was meaningful, connected to the NIDOC event and the development needed for the kids and the children. Next. This resource embeds indigenous perspectives by moving away from tokenism and in the direction of truth-telling. By using authentic symbols, children learn that indigenous communication is sophisticated and land-linked. My primary intentional teaching strategy is modeling. I will sit with the kids and circulate the travel stone along the river. using think aloud prompts like, I'm wondering where the tourist goes to find the water today. This will help scaffold the creative thinking and language development. Moving on, to facilitate an inclusive and supportive surroundings, I apply the principle of belonging. I would invite kids to convey their own found items or objects, possibly a leaf from home or a pebble from the playground, to be featured on the map I created. This will then show the kids that our learning environment is a shared space where each person's contribution is valued, developing a very respectful atmosphere that honors the variety of all families at the same time as keeping indigenous voices at the middle of our NAIDOC celebration. Moving on, in conclusion, this learning adventure has shown me that powerful early childhood resources don't need to be high priced, they need to be intentional. By the usage of sustainability and natural substances, we train children to take care of our country while celebrating the deadly 50-year legacy of NAIDOC. This resource offers a foundation for reconciliation by means of teaching our youngest learners to work together with respect and understanding and learn about indigenous culture. Thank you for listening to me today. Hope you have a good day.